Looks like more of the Legionnaires sent to investigate the lighthouse.
Stay sharp, or we'll end up the same.
To face...
Pushing, pulling, lifting, look at them muscles, huh? Just like my days at the fair. To sail the seven seas with the best of them. Better than the best of them. But found my true calling at the county fair. The strongest man in Cyseal I was, and they built me as such. Now those were swell times. How people marveled at my feats of strength. Boy, was I the cat's pajamas back then. Anyone could go up against me in a grand old bare-knuckle jamboree, but did they ever back me? Baloney. Now, I'm not a violent guy. Don't get me wrong. Make no mistake. But you know there's no harm in a little roughhousing now and again, putting on a show for the roaring crowd. Plenty challenged me in those days, but none managed to best Snorri. No, sir. Scrawny against brawny. Could have been a nice title fight at the fair. Here are the rules, hotshot. I'm gonna summon an item. Something only Snorri himself could smash. And if you can manage to break it in 35 seconds, you'll have won the challenge. Go get any pie in the sky. Hope so, pally pal. This'll be nothing to sneeze at. Noodle arms? So, what are you made of? I'll give this place the old 23 skidoo and find a worthy opponent in the Hall of Echoes. Sayonara!
Grave opens to welcome you.
Closer. Oh, thank the seven. Lucia, it's the Source Hunter. We're not going to die on this haunted cliff after all.
Who's dying? We're just resting up. The calm before the storm. Those ghosties at the lighthouse won't know what hit 'em. There's certainly something fishy happening. The light shines sure as the tides, though there's not been an attendant there for nearly 2 decades. Our platoon made a pact with Selenia. We'd check out the lighthouse, and if we made it back, we'd get a ticket home.
What Selenia failed to mention was that it wasn't just the ghosts at the lighthouse we had to worry about, it was every savage skeleton on the way there and back too. When we started, we were 7. Now, Lucia and I are the last alive.
Survival of the fittest, I say. We're just here marshalling our strength before hauling into that lighthouse with our swords blazing.
Ha! Marshalling our strength indeed. To be honest, we've been shaking like chihuahuas, praying for a way out of this mess, and it seems the 7 have sent you.
Ah, Malleus, your dignity's in a puddle at your feet. As for me, an honourable soldier and servant to Rivellon, I'm not afraid to ask. So, what do you say, Source Hunter? Will you check out the lighthouse in the name of your comrades in arms? If Selenia sees the place cleared, we'll be on the next ship out to Cyseal and back to our families.
You'll go to the lighthouse and straighten matters out, yes? Well, let us know what you find.
Sigurd's beard, what a find! further we go, the more bodies we find heaped around.
We must be closing in on where they were headed.
Rivellon within the smallest seed. Silence awaits you. Up. Rise from your grave. packs a punch. Rise from your grave! I'm drenched! All the weight of Rivellon. Smallest seed.
I see Brock.
Time of your death is at hand. This is the end for you!
Got my eyes on the prize. I was really hoping to find something better.
have died.
I've heard powerful undead like the Lighthouse.
Meet your demise!
These walls, my home.
Samson sure is sorry about Desdemona.
But my guilt
Missed!
lives on and on.
Samson sure is
Death is its own deliverance.
These walls, my home.
Wargraf spotted something.
Guilt lives on, and what's this? Living eyes that can see the shape of death? Avert your gaze, wanderer, for you are looking upon the phantom of a murderer. Samson was my name, a long time ago. I know not why upon my death I became a ghost, doomed to haunt this tower. Perhaps the gods heard of my crime and stripped me of my rightful place in their eternal realm. If so, their punishment was just. Each night I wake the flame in the lighthouse to repent for my wretched sin. That indeed is the tainted title I must bear, and deservedly so. For 15 years ago to the day, it was that I sat atop my lighthouse, the flame unlit, and watched on as a pitiable ship crashed upon the cliff and got devoured by greedy waves. Deliberately had I foregone to do my duty. Willfully did I condemn every soul aboard to a salty sleep on the bed of an indifferent sea. Why did I commit this act of blackest horror? Jealousy, anger, the bitter anguish of a broken heart. Those are the ancient ills that drove me to madness. Desdemona was on board, as I knew she would be, my wife. The delicate beauty of whom I was sure was betraying me with her friend, the dashing Faladar. Possessed as I was by the demons of envy, ire, and torment, I decided that if I had her love no longer, only death could take her for his mistress. And so I sat here, coldly and calmly, as I delivered them both unto the deep. Yet no sooner had the water closed its spuming jaws around the perishing vessel below, that the extent of my offense dawned on my beleaguered mind. Overcome with guilt, I sought escape through the hangman's noose, but rest was not to come. Skeletons roamed the lands, restless as my troubled soul, but shall not find their lair here. Some scuttle by now and again, but most of the time I reside here in solitude. Solitude and silence.
Another
walls,
betrayed soul.
My home.
It is weakness that he weeps for her. Her death
I
was
may have
deserved.
died,
Walgraf
but my
stares
guilt
at Jaina
lives
with
on
unmitigated
and on.
disgust. Such dour cynicism cuts through his jolly spirit like a razor.
Quite a story that ghost had to tell. Not every day one hears about a lighthouse keeper sinking ships just because his wife proved to be unfaithful.
Aye, a pitiful creature. Torn up so badly by the loss of love that it led him to commit murder. I almost feel sorry for him.
Yes, I understand. Despite his heinous act, one can't but commiserate with his plight. Nothing more bitter than love undone.
How did it go? Don't spare any details. We need to make a full report to the Lieutenant.
If you want to reap your reward, you can risk the trip yourself.
Indeed. If they've made a pact, it's their responsibility to live up to their end of it in both word and deed.
Be that way. If you nobodies could do it, we'll have no problem performing the inspection ourselves. Go on your way, then.
I need a moment to reflect. What good is a source hunter without a healthy sense of self? It takes a strong I to face the powers of darkness after all.
I'd put you first too, if given the chance.
Fresh apple pie.
Salutations, Source Hunter. They must come from somewhere, from some vile source. I could make a feeble pun about your hunting for said. I shall be very glad to share what information I can give you, by all means. What? You found 2 of my soldiers cowering in the bushes. I expect more from tried and true legionnaires, but at least you did the job for them. I guess we'll have to look for the source of the undead in other places. My legionnaires, they all perished? How fate has treated them wantonly. And if it weren't for you, the archaeologist would surely have died as well. He has much to be thankful for. Were that I had. Churches have churchyards, and churchyards attract necromancers. So I did. The pact of the chances of survival during...